My lipstick look okay? Hi everyone, welcome to this Facebook Live event with Hometalk. My name is DIY with Caitlin and I have a Facebook page, so come check it out. Today is all about candles and doing really interesting things and fun different vessels for candles. So I've got some kind of unique items today and some more traditional ones, and I'm going to show you guys what we're going to get into. So I've got some seashells that I found at a local store. I'm in San Diego, so there's an abundance of seashells around here. Where is everyone else tuning in from? I also have this cool tin that I got at a garage sale, like really pretty, for like 25 cents. And then I've got these cool glass vessels that I bought on Candle Science, which I really like a lot. Those are fun. And then the piece de resistance that I'm really excited about is this live edge hand-carved wooden bowl. So my favorite thing to do is anthropology knockoffs, and they do a version of this bowl that's a candle, and guess how much it costs? $180, which is crazy to me. So I'm going to show you guys, I got this at Target today, and I'm going to show you guys how to turn all these cool things into candles really inexpensively.
Okay, we got people from Arizona, Maine, Texas, California, it's 90 degrees, Tennessee, New York City. Hey, Caitlin.
I was just in Tennessee, actually, yesterday. I was in Memphis. What's the weather like out there?
Somebody was asking about the fragrance they use, grapefruit or vanilla bean, jasmine, raspberry ice.
Nice.
Somebody's from Idaho here.
All right, so what we're going to do first, hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm glad you guys could join us. So what I'm going to do first on all of these different vessels is you obviously have to put in your wicks. So the wicks that I'm using differ depending on the diameter of the vessel. This is really important. So the first time I ever made candles, I used all the wrong size wicks. And as soon as I lit the candle, it just created like a little tiny diameter circle and just drilled down and put itself out. So one of the reasons why I like Candle Science products is because they have a wick guide on their website. And so you can say like, okay, this is the type of wax I'm using, this is the diameter, and then they'll say, okay, then this is the exact wick that you need. So it just kind of cuts down on some of that trial and error, which can be really painful if you're like really excited about a project and then it doesn't turn out. So for something like this bowl, I'm gonna have to do a little more guesswork because obviously it's not an exact diameter, but what I'm gonna do first is kind of pull my wicks aside, and then I've got some tin foil here, and what I'm gonna do is I don't want this wood to burn at all. There are some kind of like fire resistant substances you can put in here so that it doesn't burn through and like set your house on fire, which would be a not so great DIY. So what I'm gonna do is take this piece of aluminum foil, and I'm actually just going to push it into the bottom here, and I'm going to hot glue gun it in. And I wasn't sure hot glue would work, so you can see my test one earlier today. But I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue on the bottom here.
Oh, it's cold in Chicago, 51 degrees, brr.
Ooh.
Somebody's suggesting a scent of a washed and powdered newborn baby. Nothing sweeter.
Wow.
Well, I hear your wax bubbling over there.
Yeah, I've got my wax going already. So this is just going to kind of keep this in place. Obviously, for the kind of the tins and the seashells and whatnot, we won't have to do this because this won't light on fire. So this is just kind of a safety precaution. So after we get the aluminum foil down in there, I'm going to use extra large wicks for this. Like I said, there's all different sizes. And making candles is so easy. I always they make wonderful gifts, and I'm always so surprised at how expensive they are in stores when they're so easy and inexpensive to make on your own. So this is like one of my favorite DIYs because it almost always turns out great, and you don't really have to be an expert to do a good job on it. But I am telling you that you definitely want to consult that wick guide before your first time for sure. And there's some great tutorials out there as well.
Where was that wick guide? Where can you find it?
On Candle Science's website.
Okay.
So yeah, Candle Science is a nice resource for learning how to do candle making for the first time. So like I was showing you guys, I'm just hot gluing to the bottom here. And I'm spacing it every few inches apart.
Oh, somebody's making your suggestions in Spanish. Sorry, I don't know it. Caitlin does, but I don't.
Okay, and then
Hawaii breeze is a scent.
that
Lavender,
sounds nice.
Pomegranate.
I'm excited for the scents that I'm using today, which you guys will find out about in a minute. Alright.
Cinnamon.
That's a great, cinnamon is a really nice Christmas scent too.
Oh, somebody's from Aruba. Wow.
I'm trying to use scents that are more summer oriented for this one, but you know, as the year goes on and it gets more fall or it gets more winter-like, I like to change up my scents and kind of match the mood of the season. So here's my secret trick. Chopsticks are so useful when doing candle stuff. So you can buy like wick guides that hold your wicks in place, or you can just get chopsticks at your local like restaurant. And if you just push them through and hold them, they keep your candle wick in place without it falling over. So what you do is you open it up just a little bit with your fingers, and then you want to keep tension, because the whole thing is you need to keep this part straight. So I pull up on the wick just gently, and then I slide it in so there's tension.
Lemongrass.
Lemongrass is another really nice scent. I'm actually doing a lemon scent today.
Creme brulee.
And if you guys can say a little thank you to my mom who's filming today for me. Thanks, Mom, for helping me film my Hometalk video.
You're welcome.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Caitlin. I have a DIY with Caitlin Facebook page you guys can check out, and lots of Hometalk projects. Okay, so this one's just about good to go. So we're going to set this guy aside, and now we're going to move on to the seashells. So one of the things with the seashells that are a little bit trickier, so I'm going to switch wicks. I'm going to go to a smaller wick, because these guys are really small vessels.
Oh, getting a lot of thanks, moms now.
All right, yeah, thanks, Mom.
Oh, here's a strawberry lemonade. That sounds good.
Strawberry lemonade sounds like a really nice summer scent.
Sandalwood.
Sandalwood is great, too.
Cotton scent. We've had a couple of those, or linen.
So if you guys were thinking about doing a DIY of a candle out of like interesting objects, what things around your house would you try to make a candle out of? Just curious. Because I'm always looking for cool new ideas too. So again, we're going to repeat the same process. It's super easy. Just put a little bit of hot glue at the bottom there, and then put that into the base of the candle. And then what I can also sometimes, if it's deep, I use my chopsticks actually to push down and press and make sure that it's in there firmly. All right, so those are wicked, so I'm going to put those aside.
Somebody says peppermint keeps the bugs away.
And now I'm going to move on to these cute glass votive.
Somebody suggested mason jars or coffee cups.
I've seen it done with a little teacup, and that's really cute.
Tea tins. She's got lots of them.
Yeah.
Peg does.
Tea tins are a very cute idea, too.
Ann says, Mom, you're doing great. She owes you dinner. She only offered me lunch.
Okay, well, we could upgrade to dinner.
Old crystal cups, bowls, coffee cups.
Now, one thing, especially when they're circular like this, you want to look directly over this and make sure that it's totally centered. So that's what you need the chopstick to make sure to keep this centered here. So, you know, when you're doing the circular ones especially, make sure that that's the case, okay?
Baby food jars.
That would be cute.
Tea tree oil keeps spiders away. Wow. Cookie tins from Christmas. That's good. Empty pimento jar.
Now, if you have a bigger tin, so this is enough for, you know, this wick is enough for just a small vessel. But if you have a larger vessel, you can use more than one wick. And then the other fun thing about candles is kind of deciding, like everyone's been shouting out what kind of scents they like. So, you know, it's nice to be able to customize your candle. You can add, these are dye chips. So, these are aquamarine dye chips, which I'm going to use on the seashells. And if you open it up, you can see they almost look like little candies. And so you can get, these come in all sorts of different colors. And so you can add like all sorts of personality to your candles. You can have different colors, different scents, different vessels. So it's a lot of fun. So now that all this stuff is here, I'm going to take all this to the kitchen because it's time to pour some wax.
Woohoo! Oh, somebody suggested an old ashtray. That would be interesting. There we go.
All right, so you can hear my wax.
Oh, Victoria asked about wooden wicks. What about those?
I don't have a lot of experience with wooden wicks. It's going to be one of those same things where you have to match. Different wicks have different properties, and different wax has different properties. So for example, if you're going to use a beeswax, that's going to be totally different than a soy wax. So that's why it's important to consult a guide, especially because, you know, if you start using, certain waxes are more expensive than others too. So like beeswax is a lot more expensive than soy wax. So before you go and make 200 candles or 20 candles or however many, you definitely want to do a test candle if you're going to use new materials like a wooden wick or a different kind of wax or something like that, so that you don't have what happened to me on the first time where I had a whole batch that I didn't know what to do with, and I actually ended up putting it in the oven at a low temperature, at like the lowest the temperature could go for like an hour on the oven, melted all the candles back down, poured all the wax out, threw it all away, and started all over again. Wow. Which is a huge pain.
Now, somebody wanted to know if you could use food coloring or crayons for this.
So the crayon thing always comes up. I don't think that the color would be as strong, and I don't think it would have as good of a shelf life. The dye chips are really inexpensive, so it's not hard to use those. I don't have a lot of experience with the crayons. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the rest of my candles here that we've got.
Okay, your stuffed, what is that guy? Willard, they just saw him in the background.
Oh gosh, that's a funny story actually. So Willard is a 12-point elk that,
here, I'll show you, for those of you who haven't seen it.
That some friends of mine found in an alley in San Diego. Someone was getting rid of him and throwing him away. And, there was another animal there at the same time. It was a taxidermy polar bear head, if you can believe that.
Unbelievable. So
someone was getting rid of some evidence, I think. All right, so I'm just going to prop the seashells up here so that the wax doesn't spill out of them. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these dyed chips I was telling you guys about because I want to do like a nice kind of sea blue color. And then I'm going to use sea salt and orchid, which I don't think is a scent anyone has talked about yet, but it smells really lovely. So if you go over here, go ahead and take a look in there.
All right.
So I'm just going to put the dye chip in like that, and you'll see it's...
Got some mean faces. I don't know why.
People don't like the taxidermy.
Oh, yeah. Well, we don't either. We're not hunters.
And then we're going to put some of the salt and orchid. Maybe we could get some happy thumbs up if you guys like the scent.
Yeah.
Sea salt and orchid.
Oh my God. Oh, red velvet birthday cake scent. Ooh.
That sounds nice.
Mango.
So once the dye chip is totally dissolved, which it almost is.
Oh, we're getting a bunch of thumbs up now.
Yay.
Yay.
Keep them coming, guys. Thanks.
Yeah, we did not kill Willard.
Poor Willard.
Poor Willard.
We feel bad for him,
We
too.
do feel bad for him, but he's got a nice home now.
I mean, it's better than a landfill.
I was shocked when I first saw him, I got to tell you.
All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take this scent and we're going to bring it, or take this hot wax, and we're going to bring it over and pour it into our candles. Now these ones are a little trickier just because they're such an organic shape. So you can see that the wick is kind of all over the place. And then you might need to kind of prop it up so that it doesn't spill. And then I'm just going to take the wick here. And, oops, we got a little wax spillage, that's okay. I mean, it'll stay liquid for a while, so you have time to kind of maneuver it how you need to. I think I need something a little heavier over here. Oh, there we go. Okay, and then I'm gonna...
Oh, Linda asked, who makes the scent you're using?
Candle Science is the company that uses the scent. Oops.
Well, somebody's suggesting gardenias. That would be good.
All right.
Sounds like a great scent, though. Unusual.
Yeah, I wanted to kind of go with like a sea scent, since it is a seashell.
Oh, Linda's saying maybe you could use an egg carton to hold the seashell.
Oh,
That's a good idea.
That's actually a cute idea. I like
Good
that.
idea, Linda.
All right, so there's that one. And then let's do the next one. Hopefully this one will be a little bit easier than that guy. Kind of prop it ahead of time. Find a good, just kind of have, I was also thinking if you had a little bit of like Play-Doh or something, you know, you could make a little mount for it ahead of time.
Right. Or maybe a little museum wax.
Yeah, something like that, that you could, like a little putty something.
Right.
That could.
Or, yeah, silly putty. I wonder if they still make that.
I'm pretty sure.
Or somebody, Nicole says, set the seashell on top of a coffee mug.
Oh, yeah.
That's
again,
a good idea,
that's a
too.
good idea.
I like that.
Oh, look at all these good home talk ideas out there.
Right.
You guys are true
Veteran
DIY
crafters.
Veteran crafters.
Oh, somebody's asked, Barbara, can you use essential oils for scent?
Yeah, you can. Again, the amount of oil that you use and relative to the amount of wax is just going to change depending on materials. So essential oils tend to be more expensive, but they're higher concentrated. So, you know, I tend to use kind of less expensive supplies because usually I'm making it for me or like family or friends or something like that. So if you were like going to sell your candles in like a high-end store, then you might use different materials.
Okay.
So,
Somebody else said put rice in a sock and then put the shell on there. That could work. I like these ideas.
That's clever too. By the end of this, we'll have like 100 ideas on how I could
how to prop up the seashell.
How to hold up the seashells.
Really?
So I haven't touched on the wax I use for this, so I just want to show you guys how it shows up because I wanted to melt it ahead of time to save time for you guys. But you can see that it just comes in these kind of it almost looks like cheese or something. So it's really easy to melt. And then how I melt it is I have a double broiler here. So I have just a pan filled with water, and then I've got my, melting pot. It's got a little lip on it, which makes it a lot easier to pour out of. You know, I would recommend going to a thrift store and just buying an inexpensive skillet that you don't really need. And then that way if a little bit of wax falls in it or whatever, it's not a big deal. So I think for this big guy, I'm going to use this orange blossom, which just smells really wonderful. I wish you guys could smell it. It's kind of like, it has a strong citrus orange.
Oh, somebody want to know what kind of wax? So this is the soy wax?
This is soy wax.
Okay.
So since this is a big candle, I'm going to use 2 of these guys because I really want a strong, I like a strong scent.
So can you tell me like how much scent to wax? Is there any kind of ratio?
Yeah, so I tend to eyeball it because I don't care really that much about being super precise, but there are calculators online that will tell you, like, if you want a mild scent, this is how much you should use. If you want a strong scent, this is how much you should use. So you can just follow those.
Oh, okay.
All right, guys, so now we're going to pour this big guy. Let's see.
Oh, somebody likes your spice jars in the background.
Oh, thanks. I got those at a garage sale.
We get a lot of stuff at garage sales.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody cooks their wax in a rice cooker. Wow.
So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just slowly pour. And then what you want to do after you pour your candle is you want to take a look and make sure, like, see how wonky this wick is here? So what I want to do is I want to go back and straighten it up. So, you know, while the wax is hot, you can still manipulate this stuff. So sometimes, like this one, see how tilted this guy is over here? So we want to straighten him up so that burns straight. So that's that. And now I'm going to go to this next one.
Oh, someone didn't see the beginning. Yeah, wants to know what's on the bottom. It's the foil.
Yeah, so I wanted to make sure that it wouldn't burn, like if the candle burned all the way down, we definitely don't want it to start a fire in your house.
Yeah.
So what I did is I laid a thin piece of, I folded over some tinfoil and I lined the bottom of it. Another idea that I had that could work is if you had old votive candle containers, like just like the little metal tins, like after you were finished burning your votive candle, you could place those in there and just have the wicks coming out of there too. I think something like that could also work really well. Mm-hmm. So now, kind of running out of room on this counter. Let's go over to this counter here.
Somebody said they used popsicle sticks with a hole drilled through them. Huh.
Yeah, that works too.
Wow.
I mean, the nice thing about the chopsticks is that I don't have to do any work to it.
That's true.
That's true. They're already done. So.
Well, somebody is in Iraq teaching at a Turkish school.
Wow.
Wow.
Thank you for joining us from so far away.
Wow.
So, again, if you guys are just tuning in, we're making candles out of unique vessels today. So we've made it out of a hand-carved bowl that's got kind of a live edge. We've done some seashells. We have a cool tin I got from a garage sale. And I'm just about done. I've hot glue gunned the wicks into the candles, and now I'm pouring my scents. So one of the pro tips that I have is make sure you consult the wick guide from Candle Science before you go, or whatever brand you end up using. I personally like them, but there's lots out there.
Somebody said you have a beautiful kitchen.
Oh, thank you.
Caitlin has done a DIY video on that.
There's actually a Hometalk tutorial that I posted on my kitchen remodel, so you guys could go to Hometalk and check that out too.
And somebody asked what your Facebook page or what your DIY is.
Oh yeah, it's DIY with Caitlin. It always totally makes my day when people come and like and send me comments and stuff, so it would be much appreciated if you guys would go and do that.
DIY Caitlin. Spell Caitlin.
Caitlin.
Right.
So you guys can kind of see, that's how we've got some like really cool seashells. We've got this awesome bowl. We've got some pretty glass containers. So you can really be creative and like come up with, like, other people had awesome ideas. They said that, they would use old coffee cups or like a vintage ashtray or like all sorts of neat things. So you can really be creative and kind of come up with some ideas. I wanted to show you guys this tin that I got at a garage sale for 25 cents. And I already turned it into a candle to show you guys. So you can see.
Cool.
I mean, you would pay a lot for this in a store, and the amount of supplies that it costs to do this is very small. And then here's another one I did ahead of time to show you guys. Here's a finished seashell. So this seashell was a little bit easier to balance. Again, thanks everyone for joining. Really appreciate it. My name's Caitlin, and Hometalk does these DIY lives all the time, so make sure to check back and see what other people are doing. So, bye!